Chapter 71. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 71. Chu Bai is Bai Yi. Chu Bai was sleeping soundly. Suddenly, a shrill scream sounded from not far away. He subconsciously summoned the god-slaying calamity. There was a flash of black light, and Chu Bai held the god-slaying calamity in his hand. Then, he stood on the bed and stared at the door. Lu Yufan covered her eyes and squatted on the ground. Jiang Qianyue and Yu Qingyu were standing on her left and right. The two girls turned around. Chu Bai heaved a sigh of relief. He had thought that something dangerous had happened. He used the god-slaying calamity by instinct. In reality, he could now use skills like Blade Waltz, Triple Flame Slash, and even unlimited ultimate skills. Although he was not as strong as in the game, this was the similarity between reality and the game. The strength of a human's body would also increase with the increase of their attributes in the game. If they had a high defense, it increased the chances of a blade not being able to pierce through their chest in reality. Therefore, in theory, the stronger one was in the game, the more powerful one would be in reality. However, the attributes of the equipment in the game would not appear in reality. Moreover, some special effects, such as dizziness, might not be able to be used in the real world. As such, the blue planet had become a game world without a system, health bar, or attributes. Plop. Chu Bai jumped off the bed. "I say, what's wrong with you guys?" Chu Bai said as he walked in front of Lu Yufan. Fan, what's wrong?" Hearing movement, Lu Yufan opened her hand and looked up. "Ah! What a hooligan! Hooligan!" She screamed, covered her face, and ran away. "What's wrong with her?" Chu Bai asked Jiang Qianyue in confusion. "Ahem." Jiang Qianyue glanced at it out of the corner of her eye, then quickly turned her head away. Then, she pointed at Chu Bai and walked away quickly. Yu Qingyu did not say a word and quickly followed. Chu Bai then lowered his head and looked at himself. F***ck. Bang! He slammed the door shut. Chu Bai is a big hooligan. A big hooligan. "I'm dead." Lu Yufan returned home and could not calm down for a long time. Her face was so red that it looked like blood was about to drip out. Especially when she was squatting there and Chu Bai was standing in front of her. The moment she looked up, she was dead. She was already dead. It's fine. Jiang Qianyue gently patted Lu Yufan's back and consoled her. He definitely didn't do it on purpose. Besides, we were the ones who barged into his house first. It's not his fault. It's his freedom to sleep naked. Obviously, she and Yu Qingyu were much calmer. Yu Qingyu poured the water and said, "He's Bai Yi." "Ha!" Lu Yufan looked at Yu Qingyu in confusion. "Sister Qingyu, what are you talking about?" Jiang Qianyue did not say a word. It was because she had also recognized him. Yu Qingyu placed a glass of water in front of Lu Yufan, then picked up the dagger that belonged to her on the table. She moved it quickly in her hand, her eyes fixed on the dagger. Fan, didn't you see the weapon he subconsciously held?" Yu Qingyu asked Lu Yufan. Lu Yufan sat on the sofa, and her lips trembled. She said pitifully, "I only saw that thing. I'm so miserable, boo.hu. Is there any possibility of it being an imitation? After all, many people would copy the signature weapons of their favorite players," Jiang Qianyue muttered. She had seen it too, so her first reaction was to think that Chu Bai was Bai Yi. However, she was talking about a possibility. "Yes. But I don't think it's an imitation of that weapon in real life. It shouldn't be that fast. The only possibility is that he brought it out of the game," Yu Qingyu said. "Ha! Is Chu Bai really God Bai Yi?" Lu Yufan asked in surprise. "Chu Bai, Bai Yi, maybe it's true," Jiang Qianyue said with a laugh. "Chu Bai." He recognized her but pretended not to. However, it was understandable. After all, he was worried that exposing his identity in reality would bring great trouble or even a fatal disaster. Fan, Qingyu, whether or not this is true, you must keep this a secret. Jiang Qianyue told the two girls sternly. Sister Qianyue, don't worry. He's a player that I respect very much, especially after the I Am God incident. I respect him even more. Lu Yufan also nodded repeatedly. I would never do such a thing, I did not expect Chu Bai to be Bai Yi. Damn it, I want to fight him. On point 1. You're going to fight Chu Bai. On point 1. Jiang Qianyue looked at Lu Yufan with a faint smile. Oh, Sister Qianyue, just let me pretend for a while. Lu Yufan pouted. Jiang Qianyue then smiled and asked, Fan, does that mean that Chu Bai is becoming more and more suitable as a candidate for your boyfriend? Besides, you've even seen him naked. Shouldn't you be responsible for that? Lu Yufan's face turned red in an instant. Not at all. Moreover, Sister Qianyue and Sister Qingyu have also seen it, right? You guys have to take responsibility too, especially Sister Qianyue. Her breasts are so big. Chu Bai will definitely love her to death, Lu Yufan mumbled. Jiang Qianyue knocked Lu Yufan's head. Knock, knock, knock. At this moment, someone knocked on their door. Chapter 72. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 72. What is this? The moment the door was knocked, Lu Yufan stood up immediately. She looked around the room, looking for a place to hide. Don't hide anymore, unless you plan to hide forever. Jiang Qianyue then walked toward the door. Sister Qianyue, aren't you embarrassed? Lu Yufan asked, blushing. Sister Qianyue isn't a little girl like you, Yu Qingyu said. Lu Yufan pouted, then stuck out her chest. They're not small. Jiang Qianyue opened the door. The person standing at the door was Chu Bai. Awkward. Although Jiang Qianyue and Yu Qingyu appeared very calm. At this moment, the four of them felt like they wanted to build 3 rooms and a living room. Ahem, Sister Qianyue, Chu Bai touched the tip of his nose and greeted. Come and sit. Jiang Qianyue flashed a smile at Chu Bai. Good boy. Her temperament as a mature lady and a lady from a wealthy family, coupled with her explosive figure and beautiful face, was really invincible. All right. Chu Bai walked in and saw Yu Qingyu and Lu Yufan, who was reading a book on the sofa. I'll get you some water, Yu Qingyu left after she finished speaking. At this moment, Lu Yufan's big eyes were looking left and right past the book, and her heart was extremely tormented. That detestable Sister Qingyu, using the excuse of pouring water to slip away so that Sister Qianyue can ease the awkwardness between us. How cunning. Why didn't I think of that? Fan, Chu Bai is here, Jiang Qianyue said to Lu Yufan. Ha. Chu Bai, ha, I'm reading. Lu Yufan stuck out half of her head and laughed. You're holding your book upside down. Chu Bai sat down after speaking. Lu Yufan was speechless. 3 rooms and 1 living room. No. At this point, she wanted to build a whole new villa. You've been sleeping for 2 days. Jiang Qianyue was the eldest one, after all, and her state of mind was relatively calm. She also kept her mouth shut about what had just happened. Yeah, I was a little tired from fighting a boss, so I slept for a long time, Chu Bai said. Naturally, he had just realized that he had been exposed. However, this was not important. As long as the news that he was by phone was not exposed to all, he could accept it. Is it that dark demon beast? Jiang Qianyue asked. She did not awkwardly ask Chu Bai if he was Bai Yi, but she was already telling him that she knew. Chu Bai nodded. I was wondering why he was the first one to leave the starter village, but I haven't seen him in 2 days. I was just discussing with Fan and Qingyu if something happened. So that's what happened. It's fine then. Yu Qingyu walked over and handed Chu Bai a glass of water. Thank you, Chu Bai took the water and said. You're welcome. Yu Qingyu sat at the side. Don't worry, we'll keep our lips sealed, Jiang Qianyue said directly to Chu Bai. Then I'll have to thank you, Sister Qianyue. There's still me. There's still me. Lu Yufan pointed at herself, her big eyes filled with anticipation. Thank you, Fan Fan. Hee hee. She then laughed out loud. Alright, let's just pretend that nothing happened. Chu Bai, we're having a meal with Brother Zhang Shan later. Do you want to join us? Don't worry, I won't tell him. The meal won't take much time. They had just eaten, but not much. Jiang Qianyue knew that Chu Bai must be hungry after sleeping for 2 days, so she naturally wanted to bring him for a meal. Chu Bai nodded. Then I'll go and call him. I'll go, Yu Qingyu stood up and said. All right, she said. Lu Yufan went to Chu Bai's side. Chu Bai, which city are you in? Please carry me. Liuzhou, Chu Bai replied. Whoa. I'm also in Liuzhou city. Lu Yufan exclaimed. How coincidental. Yes, yes, yes. Lu Yufan nodded excitedly. Then let's meet and add each other as friends, Chu Bai said. Players could only add each other face. To face, good, good. It's so cool to have Bai Yi as a friend. Lu Yufan said happily. I'm not too far away from Qingyu. If there's a chance, we can fight together, Jiang Qianyue said. Yes, no problem. Chu Bai nodded. Then, they had a casual chat. Qingyu said that Brother Zhang Shan is going home tonight. Why don't you have a meal here anyway? It won't be troublesome, right? Jiang Qianyue smiled. It's no trouble at all. I'll just warm the food up. Then I won't be polite. Chu Bai smiled and rolled up his sleeves. He felt that he was being taken care of by 3 women. It was the first time he felt this way, and it was great. You can sit here. Jiang Qianyue pointed to a chair. All right, he said. Chu Bai walked over. What's this? Chu Bai saw a white cloth on the chair and picked it up subconsciously. Lu Yufan had just opened a bottle of beer and was taking a sip when she saw this scene. Pfft. She spurted out a mouthful of beer. Don't move. Lu Yufan shouted, then immediately burst out with amazing speed and snatched it back, stuffing it directly into the pocket of her pajamas. Chu Bai's movements were frozen. What was that? Phew. I'm so tired. Zhang Shan returned home, took off his coat, and went to his bedroom. He had also forced himself to level up and leave the starter village yesterday. Zhang Shan returned to his bedroom. It was pitch black. He saw that his wife had already fallen asleep. It's only 9 o'clock and you're already asleep. Zhang Shan then tiptoed and prepared to go to bed. Oh. Hubby. The woman rubbed her drowsy eyes and sat up. Honey, did I wake you up? Hubby, I suddenly feel very hungry. Can you go out and buy me something to eat? The woman asked. I just came back, and I'm so tired. Come on, I'm so hungry, my good husband. Zhang Shan then put on his pants and stood up. All right, wait for me. I love you, hubby. Mwax. Then, Zhang Shan walked out. Hubby, don't turn on the lights. It's blinding, the woman shouted. Where are my clothes? I need to turn on the lights to look for my clothes. Oh, you can just wear anything. Zhang Shan then felt for a jacket. After putting it on, he walked out. In the security room at the entrance of the community, a man with a bare upper body who was wearing only a pair of shorts crept back. Captain. A security guard saw him and saluted. "Captain, where's your shirt on such a cold day?" he asked in surprise. "Stop talking nonsense and stand guard," the shirtless man rebuked. At this time, Zhang Shan whistled as he walked from the inside of the community to the entrance. "Hey, Chief Lu, what's going on with you? Why aren't you wearing a shirt in the middle of the night? Did you hit the gym?" Zhang Shan laughed. Captain Lu coughed drily. "Brother Zhang Shan, why are you wearing my captain's uniform?" the security guard asked in surprise. "What do you mean by your captain's uniform?" "This is obviously," Zhang Shan said as he lowered his head. F***CK. This was not his jacket. The security guard went over and pointed at Zhang Shan's left chest and said, "Look, this is the captain's name tag. Lu Xiaozhen, right?" Zhang Shan took a closer look. He then raised his head and looked at Lu Xiaozhen. Lu Xiaozhen had already run far away. "You mother*****. Zhang Shan yelled. "Stop right there." Ding. Welcome to Land of Destiny. Chu Bai opened his eyes. Chapter 73. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 73 Sakura Nation players besieging me. He logged in at the job.changing point because that was where he logged off. The current Liuzhou city was packed with people. Other than a large number of NPCs, there were players everywhere. It was already 2 days later, and the number of players who had left starter villages was simply too high. Moreover, there were many players from hundreds of countries gathered here. Sakura Nation, Marika Nation, Sunmata Nation, and so on. All the players from each country would come here after leaving their respective starter villages. The other 4 races were probably in the same situation. Of course, the players were not from the same country, so conflicts between them could easily erupt. However, each nation had its own territory within the 5 great empires. There were many cities within the territory, and there would be a large number of players within. Only players who belonged to that nation could enter. Ding. You've received the ultimate skill, Water Ball. Chu Bai was speechless. Every day, you'll be able to release an infinite number of big moves randomly. Because it is random, there are strong and weak moves. Chu Bai could not even be bothered to look at the Water Ball spell. It was a basic water mage skill. His luck was too bad. However, he did not need any powerful skills for the time being. "You're going to give me a powerful move tomorrow, right?" Chu Bai muttered to himself. Let's take a look at the rankings first. Players could be online for a total of 24 hours in the past 2 days. Those people must have been killing monsters like crazy. The level and quality of the monsters here were higher than those in the starter village, and they gave more experience. Level ranking board. First place. Level 21. Class. Swordsman. Nickname. Bai Yi. Battle Zone. Hua Nation. Second place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Swordsman. Nickname. Emperor. Battle Zone. Hua Nation. Third place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Assassin. Nickname. Shadow. Battle Zone. Hua Nation. Fourth place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Swordsman. Nickname. Black Flame. Battle Zone. Marika Nation. Fifth place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Fire Magician. Nickname. Apollo. Battle Zone. Marika Nation. Sixth place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Assassin. Nickname. Moon. Battle Zone. Sakura Nation. Seventh place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Swordsman. Nickname. Dark Knight. Battle Zone. Hua Nation. 8th place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Assassin. Nickname. Dark Sky. Battle Zone. Hua Nation. 9th place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Lightning Magician. Nickname. God Tianji. Battle Zone. Sunmida Nation. 10th place. Level 14. Class. Rank .2 Swordsman. Nickname. Dugu Wenjian. Battle Zone. Hua Nation. The level rankings had changed greatly. This was because after leaving the starter village, the leaderboard would gather everyone from hundreds of countries. Chu Bai was still first. The second-place emperor was indeed a very powerful existence. In Hua Nation, there were some extremely fearsome forces, and there was a group of people who were known as Hua Nation's geniuses. They were the most outstanding young people in Hua Nation and were very powerful. It was said that the emperor was the king and number one genius in Hua Nation. Feng Ling, Dugu Wenjian, and the others were all experts as well. Shadow was the number one assassin player in the world. Chu Bai had fought with him before. He was very strong, and there were wins and losses. Sometimes, he was no match for him at all, and his speed was so fast that it was hard to grasp. Black Flame was ranked 4th. He was a very famous player, a frightening existence from America Nation's marquee family. It was the same for Apollo, who was in 5th place. Moon. Chu Bai looked at the ID of the Sakura Nation player and frowned. It was an absolutely unfamiliar ID. 7th, 8th. Dark Night, Dark Sky. Is it still around? Chu Bai frowned. There was a force that was feared both in reality and in the game. It was called the Dark Tower. The members of this organization, be it in real life or in the game, killed for fun. They were not tolerated by anyone, but each of their members was extremely powerful. If one encountered them, it was basically impossible to escape death. This was an evil organization that had not been eradicated for many years. Chu Bai had crossed paths with them a few times before, but he had killed them all. However, each of them had terrifying strength. Other than their powerful attributes, their actual combat standards were very high. I have to go level up. Chu Bai closed the ranking. It was more difficult for him to level up, and these people would slowly catch up. However, before he could level up, Chu Bai had to go and appraise his equipment. He had quite a few pieces of good equipment on him. Chu Bai walked toward the swordsman. Don't cut the queue. Line up if you want a class change, the swordsman said without even raising his head. It's Great God Bai Yi. The players who were queuing to change their classes were all shocked and they saw Chu Bai's ID F***CK. I'm actually in the same city as God Bai Yi. Great God Bai Yi hasn't changed his class yet, right? Everyone on the rankings is in the 2nd rank, and only God Bai Yi is still a swordsman. Great God Bai Yi, stab me, stab me. I'll let you cut the queue. God Bai Yi, you're the big boss of our country. That Iron God of Sakura Nation didn't even make it into the trash ranking, ha 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 ha. I'm dying of laughter. No need, I just want to ask something, Chu Bai said. When the swordsman saw Chu Bai, he immediately coughed. Oh, it's you. What's the matter? Where can I appraise equipment around here? There's only one appraisal shop in our city right now, and it's at the city gate, the swordsman said. Many thanks. Then, Chu Bai walked away. Why were there so few appraisers? The reason was simple. Without the patronage of players, an appraiser might not earn enough. However, as more and more players visited the various major cities, more and more appraisers would appear. It's Bai Yi. In the city, a few Sakura Nation players looked at Chu Bai, and their eyes narrowed. Idiot. This is the Bai Yi who caused the progress of our Sakura nation to be delayed by 2 days. Kill him. But isn't he very powerful? Can we kill him? Look at the level rankings. What's there to be afraid of? He hasn't even completed his second class upgrade yet. We've already completed our second class upgrade. What's there to be afraid of? Chu Bai was walking forward when he noticed a few people walking quickly toward him from behind. Break the sky. Whoosh. A Sakura Nation swordsman player held a katana in his hand and charged toward Chu Bai from behind. Chu Bai did not even turn back. He even dodged to the side, and the man missed. As the Sakura Nation swordsman missed, the other 4 immediately surrounded Chu Bai. Chapter 74. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. 74. Appraising equipment, discount upon discount. There were many players in the city. The situation here quickly attracted the attention of a large number of players around. Woof. F** King Sakura Nation brats F** King with our god Bai Yi. We can't let them have their way. Brothers in the Hua Nation battle zone, follow me. F** CK. They started fighting in the city. Do you really think that there's no one in the Hua Nation battle zone? In an instant, more than 20 Hua Nation players had surrounded the 5 Sakura Nation players. Idiot. What do you want to do? Hurry up and get lost, or you'll die. The Sakura Nation player with the ID Yamamoto 88 held a samurai sword with both hands and glanced at the dozens of Hua Nation players. In the game, players from different countries spoke different languages, but the system would automatically translate what the players heard into a language they could understand. Therefore, they could understand what Yamamoto 88 was saying. Naturally, the few people from Sakura Nation could understand what they were saying as well. Yo, this little brat from Sakura Nation is quite arrogant. Brothers, blow these people up. Chu Bai had originally planned to make a move, but when he saw that the Hua Nation players wanted to make a move, he knew it would be easy for 20-odd players to take on 5 of them. He simply walked away. However, do you dare? I'm a member of the Black Dragon Gang. Whoever dares to touch me will die, Yamamoto 88 said angrily. Hearing this, the Hua Nation players looked at each other with fear. The Black Dragon Gang was a very powerful guild in Sakura Nation. It was similar to the Feng Ling dynasty and the World of Sword. The boss behind the Black Dragon Gang was someone they were familiar with. I Am God was the leader of the Black Dragon Gang. If the Black Dragon Gang wanted to gather players in Liuzhou City, they would probably be able to gather tens of thousands of people in a short time. As for these players, they were alone and weak. Once they were targeted, they would probably not survive. Most importantly, among the territories of the humans, monsters, demons, beasts, and gods, there were territories that belonged to the players of each country. Some people would be more inclined to go to the territories of their own country's battle zones instead of staying in the public areas where NPCs and players from various countries were present. This was because players could not go to the territories of other battle zones, which was safer. The Sakura Nation's territory was not far from Liuzhou City, and the nearby cities all belonged to the Sakura Nation. If they provoked the Sakura Nation, those people would be able to gather a large number of players in a short time. Humph, cowards from Hua Nation. After coldly snorting, Yamamoto 88 then shouted, kill Bai Yi. Got it. Talent, Wither. Ding. You're immune to the attribute debuffs. Whoosh. After that, a black light flickered on Yamamoto 88's body. Samurai's 8 consecutive strikes. He charged toward Chu Bai at an extremely fast speed. Chu Bai instantly used the God-slaying calamity. A ruling blow. Chu Bai's sword pierced his chest. 670. Yamamoto 88's health bar had dropped by 1/3. It was probably close to 2000 HP. It was very normal. Players who had completed their second-class upgrade could basically gain more than 10,000 HP and mana. 1 strike, 2 seconds of stun. Yamamoto 88 was stunned on the spot. Blade Waltz. Then, Chubai turned into a beam of white light and pierced his opponent's body continuously. 670, 670. Yamamoto 88 was killed in seconds. After the instant kill, Blade Waltz refreshed its cooldown. Chubai then released it on another person. Instant kill, cooldown refreshed. Another second and another refresh. In just 5 seconds, the 5 of them were instantly killed by Blade Waltz 5 times. Chubai kept the equipment they dropped and headed toward the city gate. F***CK God Bai Yi is awesome. This skill. Oh my god, he's so handsome. This group of fools, why didn't they take a look at themselves first? They dared to besiege God Bai Yi with just 5 of them. Even a few hundred people from the Feng-Ling dynasty wouldn't be enough. They probably saw that great God Bai Yi didn't go through the second transition, so they dared to do it. Speaking of which, why didn't God Bai Yi go through the second class? Old Dream Tianyu and his men were not far away. Bai Yi. I'm actually in the same city as him. He clenched his fists tightly and took out his communicator. Guild leader, I've met Bai Yi. He's in Liuzhou City, the same city as me. He fought with the Sakura Nation's Black Dragon Gang. I'll gather the members of the Feng-Ling dynasty here and work with the Black Dragon Gang to kill him. Feng-Ling hesitated for a moment. Don't kill him. What? Old Dream Tianyu was stunned. Feng-Ling still wanted Chubai's pet, but if Chubai could be killed, he would let Old Dream Tianyu capture his pet first and then trade him for it. There's no need to rush. We'll act according to the situation. By the way, if you succeed, do your best to subdue his pet. Understood. At the resurrection point. Yamamoto 88 gritted his teeth. Idiot. Idiot. He cursed in anger. Then, he took out his communicator in anger. Leader, we've been killed by the Hua Nation players. An angry curse was heard from the other end, a bunch of F***king idiots. Who in Hua Nation dares to touch the Black Dragon Gang? Who is it? It's Bai Yi. Bai Yi. The player who ranks first on the level rankings. He's also in Liuzhou City. Yes, he is. The other side was silent for 2 seconds before he shouted, gather the members of the Black Dragon Gang and kill Bai Yi. Chubai went to the appraisal shop. There was a sign at the door of the appraisal shop. It stated that the shop was having a 30% discount for a limited time, and there was a lucky draw discount, which could fetch a further discount. Chubai walked in. The appraisal shop's business was not good. After all, the players had just left the starter villages and there were very few players who needed to get their things appraised. The boss was sleeping soundly on the table. Shop owner Sunday, the owner of an appraisal shop in Liuzhou City. He's in charge of appraising equipment. Mister, please appraise a few pieces of equipment I have here. Chubai placed the gold equipment Blade of Brutality, Gluttony Armor, and Demonic Dragon Wicked Armor, the Divine Emperor equipment Demonic Dragon Cloak, and the Saint Destroyer equipment Demonic Dragon 3 Illusions Bow on the table. The reason why he wanted to appraise the Demonic Dragon 3 Illusions Bow was that he could sell it after he was done. The old man raised his head. This was a man with unkempt hair and a dirty face. He glanced at the equipment, then yawned and said, Gold equipment 1 gold, Dark Demon 10 gold, Divine Emperor 500 gold, Saint Destroyer 1000 gold. This price was actually quite normal. The appraisal fee for gold.grade equipment was 100 gold coins, 1000 for Dark Demon.grade, 5000 for Divine Emperor.grade, and 1000 for Saint Destroyer.grade. Saint Destroyer.grade equipment was too rare. As long as one had the qualifications to appraise Saint Destroyer.grade equipment, the 1,000 gold coins would not be a problem. However, Chu Bai was still quite surprised. To appraise a Saint Destroyer.grade artifact required a Saint Destroyer.grade appraisal technique. This tiny Liuzhou city actually had an appraiser with a Saint Destroyer.grade appraisal technique. This was not simple. I saw that the shop is offering a 30% discount. Is this the price before the discount? Yes, the price is before the discount. The shop owner nodded. After the discount, the appraisal fee for these pieces of equipment will come to a total of 1,057 gold coins and 7 silver coins. Where's the lottery? Chu Bai asked. The boss yawned again and pointed to a box next to him in a listless manner. Inside. It goes up to 10%. You can draw it yourself. Chu Bai then walked over and randomly picked a piece of paper to open. 10% off. Pfft, the owner took a look and immediately spat out the water in his mouth. There were thousands of lots in there, and there was only one for a 10% discount. He just took it like that. F***CK. Shop owner's son gritted his teeth and said, your appraisal fee is 105 gold coins, 7 silver coins, and 7 copper coins. You need to pay first before the appraisal. Oh. Chu Bai scratched his head and asked, do I get a 50% discount with the Destiny Epaulet? Shop owner's son was speechless. Chapter 75. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 75 Divine Emperor Flying Equipment, Demonic Dragon Cloak. Mr. Sun raised his head and stared at the Destiny Epaulet on Chu Bai's chest in shock. It's a Destiny Epaulet. You've cleared the Abyss. Level Tower of Trials, he asked Chu Bai. Yes. Chu Bai nodded. You're good. He seemed to be in high spirits. Then, he took Chu Bai's equipment and said, just give me 52 gold coins. Chu Bai took out 53 gold coins and handed them over. 53, that's a big bargain. Shop owner's son was speechless. F***CK. Whoosh. Then, with a flash of gold, he threw the Blade of Brutality to Chu Bai. Blade of Brutality. Grade. Gold. Level. 15, Usage Requirements. Assassin. Attributes. Strength plus 20, Attack plus 110. All attacks that hit the enemy will steal 1% of the target's attributes, up to 100%. Lasts until the end of the battle. Skills, Brutal. Upon activation, the first attack will be a guaranteed critical hit, and the critical damage will be increased by 50%. Cooldown time. 30 seconds. This equipment was simply tailor-made for assassins. A black light flashed, and the second item was appraised. Chu Bai took it. Gluttony Armor. Grade. Dark Demon. Level. 20, Usage Requirements. Any class. Attributes. HP plus 900, Defense plus 110, Miss rate plus 20%, all damage received reduced by 10%, critical damage reduced by 50%. Skills, Gluttony. After activation, a shield that can block 1000 damage will be formed. If magic damage is taken during this period, the full damage will be dealt, and the damage will be converted into shield points. Lasts for 10 seconds. Cooldown time. 5 minutes. What a good piece of equipment. The effect of this equipment was quite good. This was especially true for skills. The shield could block 1000 points, and magic damage would be added to the shield. The most important thing was that if the magic damage took 200 HP from Chu Bai but it was blocked by Chu Bai's defense and only caused 1 point of damage, it would cause the increase in his shield value to be almost negligible. However, the effect of this skill was similar to how magic damage ignored Chu Bai's defense during this period of time. If it could deal 200 damage, it would mean that Chu Bai had 200 HP. However, Chu Bai would not lose any HP and his shield's defense would not be reduced. Instead, the 200 points would be added to his shield. BDNV. That was why Chu Bai said that this equipment was very powerful. This one's a little weak. If you want to use it, you can use Dark Demon Armor. Shop owner Sun threw the Demonic Dragon Wicked Armor to Chu Bai. Chu Bai took a look. It was indeed a little weak, and it was level 15. Whoosh! In the next moment, a dazzling white and gold light flashed. Good stuff. Shop owner Sun's eyes lit up as he passed the Demonic Dragon Cloak to Chu Bai. Demonic Dragon Cloak. Grade: Divine Emperor. Level: 20. Usage requirements: any melee class. Attributes: 3 fixed attributes plus 10, miss rate plus 10, movement speed plus 100%, jumping height plus 100%. Passive skills: Flight. When equipped with the Demonic Dragon Cloak, the user can enter flight mode for a maximum of 20 meters. During flight, movement speed increases by 50%. Melee attacks can't be used in flight. Shadow Clone. Can release 2 clones. The clones can't attack and have the same health, defense, and speed as the user. The shadow clones can last for a maximum of 1 minute. Cooldown time: 10 minutes. Flying equipment. Chu Bai's eyes suddenly lit up. This was Divine Emperor. Great equipment, and it gave Chu Bai even greater mobility. For a piece of flying equipment, its attributes were not important. The most important thing was its flight. This kind of flying equipment could only be found in the later stages of the game. In reality, not many people could fly here and there. Even if they could do it, they relied more on items than equipment. This was a piece of flying equipment with no time limit. For a player, it was ridiculous to be able to fly at an even faster speed. This equipment. How strong? Where did you get it from? Shop owner Sun passed the Demonic Dragon 3 Illusions bow to Chu Bai and asked in shock. Is it very strong? I just killed a boss. Chu Bai then took a look. Demonic Dragon 3 Illusions bow. Grade: Saint Destroyer. Level: 40. Usage requirement: Archer. Attributes: Strength plus 100, Attack plus 1300, Critical chance plus 30%, Headshot damage increased by 100%, Attack speed plus 100%, Range plus 100%. Passive skills: Accuracy. All attacks will hit. 3 illusion powers. All attacks will fire 3 arrows at once. Active skills: Lock. After activation, all arrows will hit the enemy's head for the next 10 seconds. Cooldown time: 5 minutes. Full power. When activated, attack power doubles, attack speed increases by 500%, and bow and arrow flight speed increases by 500%. Every draw of the bow will fire 10 arrows for 15 seconds. Cooldown time: 1 hour. Chu Bai was speechless. F***CK. Was this Saint Destroyer. Grade weapon not a little too ridiculous? It was so ridiculous that Chu Bai wanted to go for the Archer class. The Archer class's advantage was its attack range of 50 meters. Among all the classes, the attack range of archers was the longest, and it could even double that. There was also one more thing that was unique to archers, and that was headshots. If it hit the head, the damage would double, which was equivalent to a critical hit. This equipment had a guaranteed hit, AoE, lock, and burst. One could imagine that the player who was fighting with this bow was a division. Chu Bai could not bear to sell this equipment. If he sold it to an enemy, it would be a great threat to him in the future, and he would be killed instantly. Chu Bai equipped the Gluttony Armor and Demonic Dragon Cloak. Thank you, shop owner Sun, Chu Bai said. You're welcome, I'll come here more often in the future, Chu Bai said. Shop owner Sun's mouth twitched. He did not want this kid to come here often. Go, go. Thanks. Then, Chubai walked out with a smile. Shop owner Sun looked at Chubai's back. The person who cleared the abyss-level tower of trials, the chosen one, took out so many pieces of top-grade equipment as soon as he left the starter village. He's indeed extraordinary. Chubai walked toward the city gate after he left, feeling refreshed. There were missions here, and Chubai planned to take them and level up at the same time. Just as he walked out, a system notification came. Ding! Hua Nation Battlezone player Dugu Wenjian made a global announcement. Brother Bai Yi, I'm Dugu Wenjian. May I ask if you'll sell me your pet, the Calamity Fox, for 10 billion. If you agree, please contact the members of the World of Sword, or you can also make a global system announcement to answer me. I'll reimburse you for the expenses, thank you. Whoosh! His words caused 1,000 waves. F***ck God Dugu Wenjian wants to buy God Bai Yi's Calamity Fox for 1 billion. F***ck. A billion. We've only been playing this game for less than a week, and Bai Yi can already earn 1 billion. Oh my god. I'm so envious. He'll definitely sell it, right? Although his pet was indeed quite powerful, it's 1 billion. How many days has it been since the server opened? He can find other pets later on and earn this 1 billion first. The crowd was in a heated discussion. Foam Ling's eyes narrowed. Dugu Wenjian. He frowned. As expected, he was not the only one coveting the Calamity Fox. Dugu Wenjian was lying in a luxurious room in the game, waiting for news. President, he'll probably sell it. 1 billion is not a small price. The most important thing is that the game has only been open for a few days. He'll definitely think that the pets in the future will be more powerful. He'll definitely sell it. Dugu Wenjian also nodded his head. Yes, I think so. The World of Sword did have some conflicts with him in the past. However, no one would be against such a huge sum of money. Then, the system's notification sound came. Here he is. Dugu Wenjian laughed. Ding! Attention all players around the world, Hua Nation Battlezone player Bai Yi has released a global system announcement. The content of the announcement is as follows. Can you be sold? Dugu Wenjian was speechless. Everyone was speechless. Chapter 76 You are listening at novelfull.audio. 76 The City Lord's Mansion's mission. The entire game seemed to be silent for a second. After that. Whoosh! It directly exploded. F***ck God Bai Yi isn't selling. He's not selling. Whoa! He's so tough. Has God Bai Yi always been so tough? Ha ha ha. To be fair, I don't think God Bai Yi is in need of money. He made 2 global system announcements in the starter village, and now he made another one. That's 3 million. Ha 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 ha. Was it because of the ambush at the starter village that pissed off God Bai Yi? God Bai Yi, I love you, ha ha ha. Dugu Wenjian's smile froze on his face. He clenched his fists tightly, and his eyes were bloodshot. Bai Yi. I want you dead. God Bai Yi, God Bai Yi. Look, it's the great God Bai Yi. F***ck ha ha ha, God Bai Yi, you're too fierce. Other than Idol Bai Feng, you're the second person to go against the World of Sword so mercilessly. It's so cool. Yeah, those people look down on everyone else. I don't like them, but no one dares to provoke them. God Bai Yi is awesome. A group of players surrounded Chubai at the mission board. You're welcome, Chubai said casually, then looked at the missions. The missions were divided into E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, and SSS ranks. There were prerequisites if players wanted to accept a mission. For example, in the S.Rank mission to find the demon spirit flower, the mission clearly stated that to accept it, one needed to be level 15 and have a reputation of 2000. It was easy to reach level 15 but not to gain 2000 reputation points. In the early stages of the game, other than being the first to kill a boss, there were very few ways to earn reputation points. 99% of the people had 0 reputation points. However, the average player would not dare to accept an S.Rank mission. In the end, Chubai's attention was focused on an SSS.rank mission. City Lord's Mansion's mission: Kill the Beast King. Mission level: SSS. Reputation: 100,000, mission reward. Level point 20 gold equipment *1, level point 20 silver equipment *5, gold coins *100, advanced health potions *10, advanced mana potions *10. This is a mission issued by the City Lord's Mansion. Please go to the City Lord's Mansion to learn more about the mission details. Why did Chubai accept this mission? This was because this mission had the highest requirement for reputation points, which was 100,000. The others were at most 10,000 reputation points. The mission reward was actually quite ridiculous. 5 pieces of silver.grade equipment and 1 piece of gold.grade equipment were worth millions. Moreover, the content seemed to be about killing a large number of monsters, just in line with Chubai's thoughts about farming. Chubai tore the mission notice. Ding! You've accepted the mission: Kill the Beast King. Please head to the City Lord's Mansion. Young hero. An old man walked to Chubai's side. You want to accept this mission, right? I'm the steward of the City Lord. Please follow me. Then, Chubai followed him to the City Lord's residence. The City Lord is in the study. Please come in. He opened the door of the study and bowed. Many thanks. Chubai then walked in. Haha, brave adventurer from another world, please take a seat. The City Lord greeted Chubai with a smile. Many thanks, City Lord. Chubai sat down. Wow, you sound quite young. I'm surprised that you're qualified to take on the mission, the City Lord said with a smile. Then, he casually glanced around and suddenly saw the Destiny epaulette on Chubai's chest. Is that a Destiny epaulette? The City Lord's eyes widened as he stood up in shock. It's the Son of Destiny. The Son of Destiny has arrived in my Liuzhou city. I'm sorry that I didn't welcome you personally. The City Lord hurriedly cupped his fists toward Chubai. Ding! Plus 20 favorable impression of you from the City Lord of Liuzhou City. This epaulette was amazing. You're too kind, City Lord. Tell me about the mission. The City Lord sat down and nodded. To the west of our Liuzhou city is the demon race. It's not far from the beast race in the north. However, we're not in the northernmost part of the Kamikaze Empire. The beast race has a small area that goes deep into the middle of the Kamikaze Empire and the demon race. It reaches the north of Liuzhou city. That place is called the Ice and Fire Plains. The terrain of the Ice and Fire Plains is complicated. There are depressions, high mountains, snow, and volcanoes. However, that area is rich in mineral resources. It was originally under the jurisdiction of our Liuzhou city, but it's being occupied by the beast race. Chubai nodded. There's a beast king in the deepest part of the Ice and Fire Plains. He's very powerful and is at least a dark demon. I've sent troops to attack him a few times, but only a few people have returned alive. The city needs to be developed, and development requires resources. So, Honorable Chosen One, can you help me go to the Ice and Fire Plains and eliminate the Beast King? Chubai nodded. Okay, I'll try, many thanks. But you must be careful. I saw many adventurers from other worlds heading there. There are many beasts and monsters there, so I hope there won't be any danger. Take this. The City Lord then handed Chubai a talisman. Ding! You've received an elementary defense talisman. Perhaps this was also due to luck. Elementary defense talisman. Effect. When worn, it can resist 1000 points of damage. It'll disappear after the block ends. Thank you, City Lord. I'll go now. Be careful. After that, Chu Bai left Liuzhou City and headed toward the ice and fire plains in the northwest. At the city gate, Yamamoto 88 was guarding with dozens of Black Dragon Gang members. When he saw Chu Bai leave, he quickly took out his communicator. Leader, where are you? How far away are you? I saw Bai Yi leaving Liuzhou City. Stop him, a voice came from the communicator. Got it. Then, Yamamoto 88 raised his katana and shouted, Black Dragon Gang, let's kill Bai Yi together. Ha! They shouted in unison. However, Chu Bai activated the flying effect of the demonic dragon cloak and flew directly into the air. His speed increased by 50%, and he was traveling at a faster speed. F***ck God Bai Yi is flying. What the F***ck? When did flying devices appear? Could it be a piece of equipment? I'm so jealous. There are dozens of people from the damn Black Dragon Gang. They can't be trying to kill Bai Yi, right? Yamamoto 88 looked up at Chu Bai, who was flying, with a dumbfounded expression. Leader, he flew away. What? He can fly. A roar came from the communicator. Just as Yamamoto 88 was about to say something, he suddenly saw Chu Bai turn back. Leader, he's flying back. Leader. He seems to be using a skill. Leader, what a huge phoenix. Yamamoto 88's eyes widened. Boom. 700. A huge flame burned the area filled with Sakura Nation players. Then, Chu Bai left. After the fire died down, all the players in its radius were instantly killed. Everyone was speechless. A Sakura Nation player who was not within range ran over and picked up the smoking communicator that had been dropped on the ground by Yamamoto 88. Leader, Yamamoto 88. He's dead. Chapter 77. 77 His skills are on cooldown. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 77 His skills are on cooldown. Chu Bai's methods shocked the people around him. Oh my god. God Bai Yi is so ruthless. But it's so satisfying. These Sakura Nation players are all crazy and have a huge prejudice against us Hua Nation players. It's so satisfying to see so many of them killed by God Bai Yi. Especially that guy with the ID of Yamamoto 88. He was killed by God Bai Yi twice, so he's completely dead. Look, you're completely dead now, aren't you? But Great God Bai Yi has completely offended the Black Dragon Gang, the World of Sword, and the Feng Ling Dynasty. F***ck. I feel that God Bai Yi is in grave danger. In reality, murder was a crime. In the game, there were no rules that restricted players. Although one would really die, everyone had tacitly agreed that killing was allowed here. This was because killing people here would not bring about the same sense of guilt as in real life, and there would not be any bloodshed. Moreover, in reality, the relationship between the countries was tense. Besides, due to the advanced technology, once they started fighting, the world could be destroyed. Therefore, the countries signed contracts to resolve their grudges in the game. All was fine as long as one did not kill for the sake of killing. Take the Dark Tower for example. The members of this organization killed people for the sake of killing. They also killed people for fun and for treasures. When one entered this game, one had to be prepared to be killed. One would pay the price for one's choice. In a war between guilds, there were countless deaths. Since players chose to work for their bosses, or rather, work for the sake of benefits, then their deaths could only mean that they were not strong enough and had chosen the wrong side. However, in a guild war, guilds would usually buy the guild death exemption qualification. Simply put, once they bought it, even if players died 100 times, they would only lose a level and a piece of equipment. Ice and fire planes. Chu Bai landed on the ground. The area ahead was flat, and there were many players from various countries. They were all farming monsters. It was obvious that this place was very close to Liuzhou City, so the players nearby must be using this place as a farming spot. Chu Bai looked forward. There was a mountain a few thousand meters ahead. There were plains on this side, covered with shallow frost-like snow. Further away, there were red and white patches, which looked like snow and volcanoes. Chu Bai went further ahead. Let's start from here. Chu Bai scanned his surroundings. There were quite a few players. Roar! A wolf stood not far away from Chu Bai, staring at him with its red eyes. Snowfield Lone Wolf. Level 12, Grade Bronze. HP 2500. A beast from the ice and fire plains. Lives in groups, fast, strong attack. Skills, Leap Strike. Leaps up and lands on a unit, then extends its claws and deals 100% critical damage. Cooldown time 15 seconds. Vertical Shadow Attack. The body is so fast that it almost turns into a shadow, and it continuously flashes toward a target, causing damage. Cooldown time 30 seconds. Are these the creatures outside the starter village? This should be the lowest level of creatures. However, from its attributes to skills, they were not simple. Chu Bai used the God-slaying calamity and bowed slightly. In the surroundings, a few other wolves circled Chu Bai, looking for an opportunity to attack. Whoosh! Chu Bai made the first move. He used Ruling Strike on the wolf. It was impossible for the Snowfield Lone Wolf to dodge the attack. 670. After getting hit, it was dealt with 2 seconds of stun. Then, Chu Bai's attacks landed. 670, 670, 670. Instant kill. Roar. Around him, 5 Snowfield Lone Wolves charged at Chu Bai from 5 different directions. Blade Waltz. Swoosh. With Chu Bai's attack power, even if none of the 5 stages of damage triggered the double effect, he would still be able to kill them in an instant. 5 times of 670 would be 3,350. The minimum kill point of this skill was 3,350. As long as the creature's HP did not exceed this number, Chu Bai could continue to use it. After the instant kill, the cooldown would be refreshed. He kept on releasing and instant killing. He simply could not be stopped. The most important thing was that the newly drawn SSS. Grade talent, Super Reduction, allowed him to have no consumption of skills. He did not have to worry about not having enough mana and could use his skills without any restraint. Ha! Many of the surrounding players were stunned when they saw the situation. F***CK. What the hell? You can farm creatures like this. Killing one in a second, then instantly using the same skill to kill another one, and then using it again and again. There's no stopping it. What the hell? Does the skill have no cooldown? Oh, it's great. God Bai Yi. It's fine, then. No wonder God Bai Yi's level is so high. If I could farm creatures like this, it would be weird if my level was low. After releasing the skill dozens of times, Chu Bai landed on the ground. F***CK, I'm a little dizzy. He swayed for a moment and then looked ahead. Let's go deeper. The creatures here could be killed by one blade waltz. Although he farmed quickly, the experience was not enough for him, and he was too dizzy. He would go deeper and farm at the same time. Very quickly, Chu Bai arrived at the foot of the volcano. There was a beast called Fire Boar nearby. Doviko, there were also quite a few people farming here. One of the larger boars attracted Chu Bai's attention. Fire Boar. Level: 15, Grade: Bronze Boss. HP 8000. A fire-type monster in the ice and fire planes, strong defense, strong attack. Skills: Flame Rush. Rushes to a target quickly. During the rush, control effects are ignored. After hitting the enemy, it'll cause damage and send the enemy flying. There's a 20% chance of a 5-second burn effect. Cooldown time: 10 seconds. Low pulse. Stomps hard and hits the enemy with a rock, causing enemy damage and to fly. Cooldown time: 30 seconds. Bronze Boss. That's good. Chu Bai was about to rush over. Hey, you over there, we saw this boss first. Step back. On the left, 3 blonde players from foreign battlefields were pointing at Chu Bai as they walked over. With the system's automatic translation, Chu Bai understood what they were saying. Chu Bai ignored them and charged toward the fire boar. Humph! The fire boar's eyes turned red when it saw someone charging toward it. Then, it stomped its front foot, and a rock suddenly jutted out from under Chu Bai. However, Chu Bai was faster. When the rock protruded, he had already left that spot. F***CK. He's snatching the beast that we saw first. Kill him, the leading player with the ID Lonely King scolded. After that. Triple Flame Slash. .1, 340, .670, .1, 340. Blade Waltz. .670, .1, 340, .670, .670, .1, 340. 8000 HP, instant kill. The 3 of them stood there with their eyes wide open. What did they just see? A level .15 bronze boss was instantly killed by 2 skills. As for the damage, it broke 1000 a few times. After their second-class upgrade, their attack power was less than 200, but this person. What attribute was it? Chu Bai turned around and looked at the 3 of them after picking up the equipment. What did you say? You guys saw the beast first. Gulp. They swallowed a mouthful of saliva. No. No. No, we didn't. They quickly shook their heads. But I already heard you. They looked at each other, and the player whose ID was translated as Lonely King gritted his teeth. His skills are on cooldown. Kill him. Drop his equipment. The other 2 clearly had the same intention. Chapter 78. 78 Since you want to protect him, then you should die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 78 Since you want to protect him, then you should die. Of course, they had seen Chu Bai's ID. He was God Bai Yi. There was no one who did not know him. After all, Chu Bai was the only one who made all the announcements in the world. However, they did not know how strong Chu Bai was. Players in the early stages of the game did not have many skills. They had just seen Chu Bai use 2 powerful skills to kill the boss. Even though the damage was high, how could the 3 of them not kill him, especially when his skills were on cooldown? Tom, mark him directly. David, slow down his movement speed, Lonely King shouted. Okay. Then, the 2 of them released their skills at Chu Bai. Talent, hit the mark. Slow down. The system notification rang out in Chu Bai's mind. Ding. You've been marked by impact mark. For the next 20 seconds, the damage you receive will be increased by 100%. Ding. You're immune to the speed reduction effect. Lonely King sneered. Tyrant Body Halo. Lonely King released his skill, and golden halos appeared on the 3 of them at the same time. This was also the reason why they dared to go against Chu Bai. Impact mark increased damage, slow down reduced Chu Bai's agility, and Tyrant Body Halo made the 3 of them immune to crowd control once. At the same time, the damage they received for 20 seconds was reduced by 50%. So, why could they not fight Bai Yi, who did not even have his skills? Go! Lonely King charged at Chu Bai with his sword. The other two were long-range. One was a summoner, and the other was an archer. 3 consecutive shots. Whoosh! 3 arrows were shot at Chu Bai along with the king. BVEC, summon, Earth Devil. A huge monster was summoned from a magical formation, and it charged toward Chu Bai. Let's see how good this so-called number 1 Bai Yi is. Chaotic Slash. He leaped up, spinning his body as he hacked at Chu Bai. Chu Bai stood there, holding the god-slaying calamity. Ruling Strike. Whoosh! With his extreme speed, he ignored Lonely King who was rushing over. He instantly passed by the Earth Devil and rushed to the front of the archer. The archer was still drawing his bow and had no time to react. Chu Bai's sword had already stabbed him. 335. Chu Bai could ignore defense, but he could not ignore the effect of having his damage reduced by half. Ding! You've been stunned. Tom was stunned by the strike. Lonely King landed on the ground and hit nothing. As for the summoner, he could not fight in close combat at all, so he could only summon monsters to fight. Detestable. Wasn't his speed reduced? How did he do it so quickly? Lonely King gritted his teeth and rushed over again. Chu Bai had already started to attack David. 335, 335. He was stunned and unable to move, but his eyes were open. One could see that he was extremely helpless at this moment. 1000 HP. It had reduced his health bar by nearly half. The killing move had arrived. Blade Waltz. The moment Lonely King charged over, Chu Bai was unable to select. His attack missed again. 335, 335, 335. After the end of Blade Waltz, the archer was instantly killed. Tom! Lonely King shouted. F*CKU. F*CKU. He stared at Chu Bai and cursed. Chu Bai smiled and gave him the middle finger. F*CK your mother. Lonely King gritted his teeth. Flash Strike. Whoosh! This attack was like Chu Bai's judgment. It was extremely fast and instantly hit Chu Bai. 39. What the? Lonely King was stunned. Many of the foreigners did not know how powerful Chu Bai was. The videos and posts in Hua Nation could not be circulated overseas. Other than some very powerful foreign players with methods and backgrounds who could easily see them, other players rarely saw them. This included the piece of news that the World of Sword and the other players only dealt 1 point of damage to Chu Bai. The damage is quite high. Chu Bai looked at Lonely King and sneered. Lonely King was speechless. He dodged the Earth Devil's sudden thrust and the attacks of the summoned monsters. Now it's my turn. Blade Waltz. Whoosh! Chu Bai immediately disappeared from his spot. Lonely King's health bar continued to drop. 335, 670, 335, 335, 335. He still had a quarter of his health left after this set of attacks. F*CK. Lonely King was shocked. He quickly put some distance between himself and Chu Bai and quickly healed himself. You want to heal? Chu Bai sped up and caught up to him. However, a few summoned monsters blocked Chu Bai's path. 670. Chu Bai dodged backward. F*CK. He did not care about the summoner and summoned more than a dozen monsters. They were indeed not weak. Chu Bai's gaze turned to the summoner. With me here, don't even think about killing me. All summoned beasts, charge, the summoner shouted with his staff in hand. It's really disgusting. Chu Bai's hand that was holding the god-slaying calamity tightened. Shadow Clone. Shadow clone. Can release 2 clones. The clones can't attack and have the same health, defense, and speed as the user. The shadow clones can last for a maximum of 1 minute. Cooldown time: 10 minutes. It was the skill that came with the demonic dragon cloak. Then, 2 clones appeared on the same spot. Chu Bai controlled his 2 clones to charge into the group of summoned beasts while he leaped. What? The summoner and Lonely King were both stunned. What the F***ck? He could jump so high. After landing, the summoner was just 8 meters in front of Chu Bai. Come back quickly. He was controlling his summoned beasts. However, no matter how he summoned them, they could not be faster than Chu Bai. Since you want to protect him, then you can die. Ruling Strike. With Super Reduction, Ruling Strike had a cooldown of less than 15 seconds. Whoosh! 335, the damage was not high because the damage they received would be halved. However, it was enough to kill him in seconds. When a summoner was close to a high-attack swordsman like Chu Bai, it was basically a death sentence. Triple Flame Slash. The 15-second cooldown for Triple Flame Slash was over. Chu Bai activated Divine Slaughter and instantly killed him. Since the summoner was already dead, the summoned beasts naturally dissipated. Chu Bai turned his head and looked at Lonely King, who was healing himself. F***ck. I'm not afraid of you. Lonely King looked at Chu Bai with fear. Raging Inferno Mountain, Splitting Slash. He leaped and slashed at Chu Bai. Chu Bai did not even move. 176. Lonely King was speechless. F***ck. His skill only dealt 176 damage. Ding! You've obtained the ultimate move, Raging Inferno Mountain, Splitting Slash. Lonely King raised his head. When he saw the mocking smile on Chu Bai's face, his eyes narrowed. Raging Inferno Mountain, Splitting Slash. .2, 680. Ding! You've triggered the 200% damage effect of Divine Slaughter. An instant kill. The 3 of them dropped some good pieces of equipment. No wonder you could deal nearly 200 damage to my 286 defense. It turns out that you're using a gold piece of weapon. With gold equipment and skills that increased damage, the damage would be high. If Chu Bai did not have such high defense, this skill would have dealt at least 400 damage to him. These 3 players were actually quite skilled, and their attributes were not low. Chu Bai threw the things into his spatial ring. I'm not interested in a piece of level .10 gold equipment. I'll sell it when the time comes. What's this? Chu Bai's gaze fell on a scroll that Lonely King had dropped. Mission Book, Volcanic Eruption in the Ice and Fire Plains. There is a volcano that is continuously erupting in the ice and fire plains. There might be a fire-type monster causing trouble there. Please kill it in the ice and fire plains. So it's their mission. Ding! You have received a mission exclusive to America Nation. If you complete it, America Nation will suffer a corresponding loss. Chu Bai raised his brows. He kept walking. Ding! All players, it's hereby announced that Hua Nation player Bai Yi has received America Nation's exclusive mission, Volcanic Eruption in the Ice and Fire Plains. If he completes the mission, America Nation Battlezone players will be punished. Please snatch the mission book as soon as possible. Chapter 79. 79 Master, why do I feel like he wants to mess with us too? You are listening at novelfull.audio. 79 Master, why do I feel like he wants to mess with us too? The system notification rang in every player's mind. What the heck? Our mission was taken away by that Bai Yi from Hua Nation. What punishment will there be? Whose mission was snatched away by Bai Yi? If you don't have the ability, then don't pretend to be all that. F***ck. That damned Bai Yi. Where is he? We can't let him complete the mission. When the Hua Nation players heard this, they all laughed. F*CK. Great God, Bai Yi is awesome. Ha 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 ha, I've only played the game for a few days, and the two top battle zones that are Sakura Nation and Marika Nation have been conquered by God Bai Yi. It's so cool. God Bai Yi, you must complete their mission, ha 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 ha. Lonely King had appeared at the resurrection point. F*CK. The mission book was dropped. He was flustered and exasperated as he listened to the system notification. This mission was a very difficult SS.rank mission, but with their talent and ability, they could still complete it. The reward was quite generous too. He did not expect it to be snatched away. I know where Bai Yi is. The people of Marika Nation will come with me to capture Bai Yi. Lonely King shouted. Where is he? A handsome man with blonde hair and blue eyes walked toward him. Great God Arcel. Seeing this person, Lonely King was stunned. He was one of the top 100 masters in Marika Nation. Moreover, he was known as the King of Marika Nation. Where is that Bai Yi? Arcel asked. In the ice and fire plains, Lonely King quickly replied. Okay, let me, the king, bring people to exterminate Bai Yi. Arcel led his men and ran toward the ice and fire plains. A large number of Marika Nation players also headed to the ice and fire plains. The players from Marika Nation, who were already in the ice and fire plains, were the first to enter. Swift Fire Rat. Level 16, Grade Bronze. HP 3000. A creature that lives at the foot of the volcano in the ice and fire plains. These rats are managed by the Beast King and are used to defend against intruders. Skills: Fireball Impact. Releases a fireball to quickly attack the target, causing damage. It has a 10% chance of burning for 10 seconds. Cooldown time: 10 seconds. Underground Raid. User burrows into the ground, locks onto the target, and attacks from underground, causing damage. Cooldown time: 10 seconds. The Beast King Subordinate. That means I'm not far from my mission target. Chu Bai charged toward the swift fire rats. Triple Flame Slash. Blade Waltz. These two skills did not consume any energy and had short cooldowns, so it was simply too effective in killing creatures with low HP. It's too slow to level up like this. Chu Bai sighed, then looked into the distance. Some of the players had already gone inside. Players from Marika Nation. That was because Chu Bai saw their blonde hair. However, there were quite a few rocks here, and it seemed like they did not see Chu Bai. Let's farm a little longer. Chu Bai rushed over again. At the same time, in the depths of the ice and fire plains. This was a pit, and the surroundings were blocked by mountain rocks. Bang! 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 With two muffled sounds, a Marika Nation player fell to the ground, covering his bloodied head. You dare to kill me? I'm Arcel, the King of Marika Nation. I'm one of the top 100 players in Marika Nation. If you kill me, you're done for. Arcel supported himself with his elbow on the ground and looked at the figure walking over. The girl was holding a pan in her hand. She turned to look at the little blue dragon on her shoulder in confusion. She blinked and asked, Lil Dragon, he said he's a noble of Marika Nation. Are nobles very powerful? The cute little dragon also blinked its confused eyes and asked in a child-like voice, Master, what's a noble? Maybe it's similar to the pork trotters in Hot Pot. Have you ever eaten pork aorta? It's very chewy and super delicious. The young girl swallowed her saliva. Oh. I haven't tried it yet. Master, are you going to bring me to eat Hot Pot? The little blue dragon wagged its tail and asked excitedly. Okay, I'll bring you to eat beef, lamb, and shrimp. Thank you, master. You're the best. The corner of the player's mouth twitched, and he looked up at her. She was so beautiful. Even though he did not like Eastern beauties, this lady was so beautiful that he felt suffocated. It was so King ridiculous. Why were these Hua Nation players getting stronger and stronger? He was one of the top 100 experts in America Nation. He had brought his men over in a hurry to deal with Bai Yi, but the 40 or so people were knocked out one by this Hua Nation female player with a frying pan. From today onward, he would definitely be afraid of the dull sound of the frying pan hitting things. Then, the girl looked at him. I'm talking to you. Have you already resurrected? Arcel was stunned once more. Ha! Yes, why? Bang! Then, she raised the pan and smacked it down on Arcel's head. That's good. After that, the girl happily clapped her hands and picked up all the items that were dropped on the ground. I'm so happy. We got good things this time. Lil Dragon, go and collect the treasures of the others. When I log off, I'll bring you to have fun and eat delicious things. Yes, okay. Whoosh. Then, the little dragon jumped down, touched the equipment on the ground with its little claws, and all of the pieces of equipment disappeared. The two of them looked very familiar with each other and were obviously habitual offenders. Just then, Chu Bai happened to arrive. Master, someone's coming. The little dragon rushed over and landed on the girl's shoulder. The young girl also raised her head and looked at Chu Bai with her beautiful eyes. Wow! He looks very rich. Lil Dragon, look at his equipment and the sword in his hand. Wow, what a nice cloak. The young girl's eyes brightened up. She seemed to be very excited. The little dragon on her shoulder sniffed, then nodded hard. Yes. Master, I want to snatch his cloak and put it on. Lil Dragon and the young girl's eyes were fixed on Chu Bai, not leaving for a moment. Lil Dragon, do you think we'll be rich if we rob him? Yes. We'll be rich. We can eat a lot of delicious food for a long time. Lil Dragon kept nodding. Should we beat him up? The young girl asked. Yes, the little dragon replied. Chu Bai's mouth twitched when he heard their conversation. Was she looking down on him? She was chatting in front of him. Then, Chu Bai scanned the crime scene around him. There was a lot of dropped equipment on the ground, and it looked like dozens of people had died. Could they be the ones who did it? Master, but he looks quite powerful. He's definitely stronger than the others. Lil Dragon pointed at Chu Bai with its claws. Don't be afraid, I'll hit him with the pan. Then, she raised her head and looked at Chu Bai with her beautiful eyes. She suddenly started to think. Bai Yi. Lil Dragon, don't you think this name sounds a little familiar? Master, I don't know. The little dragon shook its head. Forget it, let's knock him down first. After this, we'll go and eat something good. Alright. Chu Bai narrowed his eyes. They want to beat him up. Are you done chatting? Chu Bai asked indifferently as he held the god-slaying calamity. Master, why do I feel like he wants to mess with us too? The little dragon asked. Yes, I think so too. Don't be afraid. I remember now. He's Bai Yi, the top player on the level ranking. The young girl suddenly realized something. Master, does that mean we can't beat him? The young girl's beautiful eyes stared fixedly at Chu Bai. However, she did not seem to be flustered at all. Instead, she was even more excited. This was a big player. Moreover, the more powerful the expert, the more motivated she was. Don't be afraid. It's more fun to beat up this kind of expert. After this, we'll have a good meal. Whoosh. Then, she charged at Chu Bai. Chapter 80. 80 God-Slaying Frying Pan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 80 God-Slaying Frying Pan. Chu Bai's mouth twitched. This person was different from the others. It seemed like she came to mess with him purely because she felt that he was rich and could eat a good meal. However, if they wanted to mess with him, Chu Bai would naturally not let them off. Ruling strike. Chu Bai also did not hesitate and charged at the girl. How fast? He's so strong. The young girl was shocked. Then, she used the frying pan to block the attack. Chu Bai's God-Slaying Calamity touched her frying pan. Then, Chu Bai directly bounced away. What? This shocked Chu Bai. I'll beat the F***ck out of you, the young girl shouted and charged toward Chu Bai at an extremely fast speed. She was very fast. Chu Bai was also surprised by her speed. She seemed to be as fast as him. What class was she? Why was her weapon a frying pan? Then, her sprinting figure suddenly disappeared on the spot. In the next moment, she appeared above Chu Bai as if she had teleported. She raised the frying pan and aimed it at Chu Bai's head. Chu Bai reacted and raised the God-Slaying Calamity to stab at it. Their weapons clashed again. However, this time, Chu Bai immediately released Blade Waltz after his attack. Swoosh! Damage kept appearing above her head. 670, 670. We're done for. His damage is so high. He's not going to flip, is he? The young girl panicked. Lil Dragon, invincibility. A ray of light flashed. 0.0, 0.0. The follow-up damage of Blade Waltz was all 0. An expert. Chu Bai's eyes lit up. Lil Dragon, explosive dragon breath. Roar. Then, the little dragon spat out a blue lightning like dragon's breath at Chu Bai. 100, 101, 103. Chu Bai's health bar did not even drop because of the elementary defense talisman. Chu Bai activated his speed, and he was so fast that Lil Dragon could not lock onto him. Master, I can't beat him. Lil Dragon said with smoke coming out of his mouth. I'll do it. Super large frying pan. The young girl leaped up, and the pan in her hand suddenly became a few hundred times larger before directly smacking down. Chu Bai looked up. He could not even see the sky. He could only see the dark bottom of the pot. F***ck. Ding. You've received the ultimate skill, Super Large Frying Pan. Super Large Frying Pan. Enlarges the weapon in the hand by 200 times and increases damage by 1000%. No cooldown. Chu Bai was speechless. Release. Then, the God-Slaying Calamity in his hand became 100 times bigger. Wow! It's so big! The young girl exclaimed with her mouth slightly open while holding the pan. Release. Chu Bai released it again. His sword was even bigger than her frying pan. Then, Chu Bai grabbed the hilt of his sword with both hands and swung it. Boom! The two weapons collided again. I can't win. After all, he's older than me. Lil Dragon, run! The young lady shouted as her frying pan returned to its original size. Master, I'm coming. Then, the girl and the dragon ran away with all their might. You want to run? Chu Bai's eyes narrowed. Super large frying pan. He released it again. The sword grew bigger again. They ran for a few seconds, but they could not keep up with the growth of Chu Bai's weapon. Triple Flame Slash. A sword that was a few hundred meters long released Triple Flame Slash, which naturally increased the skill's range. The young girl turned her head and saw the sword that was a few hundred meters long dancing wildly behind her. Her expression changed drastically. We're done for, we're done for. Swoosh. She dodged the first and second parts of the attack. However, the range of the third attack had directly expanded to over 100 meters. Boom! The attack smashed down. The little dragon was sent flying 700. This huge damage had only reduced the little dragon's HP by less than half. Master, save me! Master, save me! Lil Dragon shouted in a panic as he was sent flying into the sky. Although this little dragon was a robber, it seemed to be quite timid. It kept moving its limbs in the air as if it wanted to grab the air and escape. Ruling strike. Chu Bai held the sword that was a few hundred meters long and released it at the little dragon. The girl stopped and turned around. Lil Dragon. Her expression changed. No. She would never abandon her companion. He had gone too far. I'm sorry, Lil Guo. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave you behind either. The young girl looked at the pan in her hand pitifully. Whoosh. Then, she threw her pan at Chu Bai. Ding. You've discarded the god-slaying frying pan. The small frying pan had actually blocked Chu Bai's powerful attack. Quickly run. She caught the little dragon and ran away. Chu Bai's sword returned to its original size. She really got away. However, this player was very powerful, and she actually had a dragon as a pet. Chu Bai walked over and picked up the pan. God-slaying frying pan. Grade. Strongest in the universe. Usage level. 0, usage requirements. Meng Yi and Lil Dragon. A mysterious frying pan that contains unimaginable power. It seems like it can kill even a god with one strike. Current status. Production incomplete. Attributes. Strength plus 100, attack plus 500. Remaining attributes to be added. Passive skills, invincibility. Ignores grade and level, and can block all attacks. Knock on the head. Double damage when hit on the head. The louder the sound, the higher the damage. Other passive skills to be added. Super large frying pan. Makes the frying pan 100 times bigger. Cooldown time. 5 minutes. Other active skills to be added. Chu Bai was speechless. Envy.